Welcome Tarot Mystics, April here with Tarot and Witchery, and today I'm going to put some decks on the chopping block. Honestly, I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed. This place has just gotten crazy and I have so many new decks that I feel like I'm not getting to, and it's really just that my shelves are clogged with decks that I'm not really using. So today I'm going to take a look at just some. I think this is probably going to be a 4-part video series, maybe a 5-6 part video series as I go through my decks and see which decks are going to leave, like that's it, chopped, you're dead, you're gone. Which decks are going to go into like a waiting area where I can go back to them later, and which decks will go into purgatory. So grab yourself some tea or coffee, whatever it is you prefer, because we're taking a wild ride, and I'm sure this is going to be emotional for me because you guys, I've never culled decks. Never. I've never gotten rid of decks. So this, I really want to do this. So we'll take this one baby step at a time together. Welcome to purgatory. Yes. Well, actually, this is where I keep the boxes once I take my decks out, because you may have seen I keep my decks out and not in a box. However, I'm at this place where I'm feeling like that's not really working because we live on a farm and it's really dirty here, and now my cards are kind of getting dusty. And so now I'm faced with this whole other conundrum. That's something else. You could leave me your comments down below if you can think of a better system. Anyway, let's dive into this. Here I am in purgatory with just, all sorts of boxes. Some of these I actually have things in them, some of them do not, and they're empty. I mean, there's just so much over here. Oh my goodness. But that's not the worst place that you can end up in my house. No, it's not, because down here in the depths, the bowels, welcome to hell. Yes, these decks have been here a while. Oh my goodness, let's get them out. So I'm just trying to think of what criteria I'm going to use in order to figure out how I'm going to cull these decks. And I think it's just going to be like a heart thing. But down below in the comments, let me know what criteria you use in order to cull a deck. What is your process? All right, I have 8 decks, 8 decks that are on the chopping block. Let's jump right on into it. The first deck right here is the Golden Tarot by Liz Dean. Okay, so what makes this one hard is my daughter gave this to me. And, when she gave it to me, she said, this is a really cool box too. When she gave it to me, she said, hey, if this isn't your thing, it's okay. You know what I mean? She was super sweet about it. All right, so the backs of the cards are super pretty. It is a shiny deck, it's mass market, and it is a pip deck. It's in the style of kind of ancient paintings, or not ancient, but older paintings. Not necessarily Maniera Greca period, but yeah, definitely better than that. But still, it kind of has that sort of feeling to it. And, it's not terrible. I look at it and it's not like I can't read pip decks. And I could just read this Marseille style and enjoy it. But yeah, you guys, it's been in hell for a long time. It does have a color book that goes with it, which is really nice. It has the keywords and the associated planets or sign with it, which is kind of neat. Okay, guys, quickly make a guess down below in the comments. Am I going to keep this or what? I think my tone was pretty clear on this one. This one's going to go. I'm going to rehome this one. Like I said, it's hard because my daughter gave it to me and I'm like, maybe someday I'm going to want to read with that. But how often do we hold on to things and their time has passed? It's over, and it just becomes stuff that's around. And I really feel like it's time to free up my consciousness. That's why I'm doing this, because I just feel very overburdened. So if anybody is interested in this deck, then you can email me. There's a link in my community tab there. You can email me and and I'm happy to sell this to you. Okay, deck number 2 is the Mystical Shaman Oracle by Colette Baron Reed and Viloldo. Lobos. Boy, say that fast several times. Okay, so let's take a look at this. You know, guys, I really wanted this oracle. Like, I saved up for it. I was just so sure that I was going to love it because of my time on the reservation, living with Indian medicine people. So as I said, I bought this because I was hoping that it would be reminiscent of my time on the reservation. And so the first thing about this is good sized book. Ribbon box, but this is a pet peeve for me, you guys. It really, really is the whole box inside a box. Like, I feel like that's a real waste of natural resources. However, I do love the ribbon box, and this is such a nice box. I feel like the packaging on this was meant to be sort of like an iPhone experience, so to speak. I feel like this was a real step up for her in her packaging, and a lot of fun for her to do in this collaboration. And I kept this book, I kept this next to my bed for several months and worked with it in the evenings. And the way that it works is there's the essence of the card, the invitation of the card, and then if you get it in reverse, you read the medicine. It's a really nice book because it's got the picture on one side so you can flip. That's something I really appreciate, that I can flip and quickly access the number. Good size book. I keep my books out all the time. They're out like my cards, so they're on a little stand. Okay, let's take a look at these. And so I'm kind of going down memory lane here a bit and thinking about my time with these cards and what they meant to me. It's really pretty artwork, really, really pretty. Okay, so before I forget, go ahead and down below in the description box right now, just leave a comment whether you think I'm going to keep this one, yes or no. My time on the reservation, I lived there for a year with Indian medicine people, working a little bit with ceremony and the sweat lodge. I actually lived in the home with them. And my time there was really about getting personally healed, more than training. Was about getting personally healed, although there was a lot about learning about history and ceremony and how her healings worked, and shamanic journeying and so forth and so on, but mainly focused on my own healing as I had been a homeless teenager. And when they took me in at 19, I really needed the love and nurturing that I got there, as well as the ceremony. So, oh man, so it's really, really pretty. I would sit up at night with this deck and, you know, kind of reflect on it. However, this is not my experience of the reservation. Of course, this could be South American. There's the jaguar. There's the Andean cross. This does not feel like my time there. It does not feel like Native American medicine to me. This to me feels like an idealized version of this experience, like somebody that dips into the shamanic experience one time, like they go to a very expensive retreat somewhere and have this experience, or they idolize that this is what it would be like. And this just was not my experience at all. Much more earthy. Gosh, traveling to very dark places in order to retrieve pieces of my soul. So I bet you can guess where I'm going with this. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm chopping this deck. It's beautiful, but I tried so hard to really get into this, but this is just not my experience of traveling in the spirit world. It's not my, of drumming, of any of it. It's completely something that feels very Hollywood glamorized to me. Very, yeah. I'm just going to leave it there before I say something that sounds really judgmental, but yeah, this is not the real deal to me. And it might be to someone else. This might be just so perfect. And so they should have it, right? They should have it. True story here, people. I thought I was recording, and so we're going to do this again. All right. Deck 3 is Carolyn Mace's archetype cards. I was for quite a while really into Carolyn Mace and studying, and I took some of her classes online, and I actually did the archetypes book with my friends. So let's take a look at these cards and see how I feel about them. Okay, down below in there, why don't you just put in the comments archetypes, yes or no? Do you think I'm going to keep it or cull it? All right, so the idea behind this, and if you haven't done Carolyn Mace's Archetypes book or seen it, it's really good. I'm sure it's in paperback now, but it was not way back when. Here are the backs of the cards. They're kind of fun. So what you do is you go through and you've got like, let me see where they are in here. Oh, well, everybody's got a child card that they pick, right? So there's the healer. You have a child card that you pick, and then you've got you put the saboteur in, and I think you picked 7 total cards, and then like you can make your own card there. So here's the eternal child. So like everybody picks one child card that they feel that they really relate to. I was the wounded child. So at the top it has the light attribute. Helping those in need with no expectation of return. So that's a real angel, isn't it? That's been my sense of people that are real angels, right? And then it has the shadow attributes. So it says, acting innocent or angelic to mislead others. Ew. Falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Oh my gosh, you guys, this totally reminds me of a story. Story time. All right, so years ago in my 30s, I was a part of the charismatic church, like it was the prophetic movement that was going on in the church. And so we were really about like prophesying about looking into the spirit and pulling messages down. You can see I love cards, right? So that just worked really well for me. Anyway, so we were on this camping trip, and I was there with my friend Chris and I, who were like buddies. We were at our campsite and we had this fire, and Chris was playing on the guitar, and this woman stands up and she starts getting like hokey, you know. Now, how many of you have been to a charismatic church? Let me know down below, because you know what I'm talking about when I say things can get dramatic really quick at a charismatic church. And of course, we're camping, we're out in nature, and she starts doing this thing and going, I hear the angels. I hear the angels. And my friend Chris and I kind of throw each other like a sideways look, and it was getting late and we were really tired, and it kind of had just been a day of hokiness. Both Chris and I were like, it's just been so hokey today. So, and I just want to say, no shade. This is where I was at in my walk. I was like on the verge of being like, I just cannot, like, this is not a fit for me. Okay. So let's just keep that in mind. So she's like, I hear the angels. Can you hear them? And my friend Chris, like of course, I would never say anything like, this is your experience, whatever, but I was not feeling it at all. I felt like it was very egoic. I felt like it was really like, look at me, everybody, like I'm so super spiritual. And this was kind of a time when the whole angel thing was really like a craze. Like everybody was saying they saw angels, and I was like, I don't. It's not my thing. I've had angelic encounters post-church, my post-church involvement, but never while I was in church. He just looks at her and goes, no, I don't. So anyway, when I see this card and I think about like, ew, that was that energy. That was that shadow energy that I was picking up on. I didn't feel at liberty or free to be able to do that because I felt like it was very judgmental, and I'm not into judging other people in their walk. And I'm not saying she wasn't having an experience. Maybe she was, but I was not privy to it, and neither was my friend. There we go. So there's that. So let me know what you think about whether or not I'm going to keep this deck. You know, you guys, I just did an archetypal power spread, which I will link down below. I think that this would be a great deck for that. And I actually like this, and I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep this. This has a lot of memories because I've really worked through that book, and I thought I actually still have the book, and I thought the other day like it would be cool to go through and redo how I've changed and what archetypes I'm working with now. And next on my list here, number 4, next on the chopping block, is the Kama Sutra Tarot by, sorry, I gotta get this, by who? My goodness, who's it by? Well, I'm not sure who did it, but it is a collection and it is erotic. I got this deck because I had seen it on someone's channel, and I was just like, wow, you know, that's a really cool deck. I love how those are playing out. And look at the backs. The backs are like really pretty. I think they're really, really pretty. Okay, so warning, there's nudity here. Like, this is erotic. This is not like, and I'll try to like maybe cover up some of the ones that are not so. Anyway, I get this deck in the mail and I'm super excited to get this deck. And then I realized after opening it up that it was not the deck that I thought it was at all. I'm like looking at this being like, wow, this is really, really pornographic. Which is why I was like, not that I have anything against erotic stuff, let me tell you. I totally love tantric stuff, and I feel like tantric magic is very powerful. It's just a little white book, and it doesn't have anything to say. You guys, I'm almost blushing. That's so erotic. I do not feel like any of these, like, they just don't, they just took all of these Kama Sutra pictures from India and shoved them on here, and they do not relate to the cards. Can you guess what I'm going to say about this one? I'm not going to belabor it. Ka-cha. Goodbye. No, this is definitely just not a keeper. Yeah, if somebody out there has some like, wow, I really want that deck. If you're into the Kama Sutra, you might really appreciate the art and recognize some of these are like taken from traditional plaques. I actually did a whole, in the my Psychology of Love class did a whole thing on tantric stuff. So anyway, moving on. All right, so moving on, my next on the chopping block, yay or nay, is Ciro Marchetti's Legacy of the Divine Tarot. I don't remember where it was that I picked up this deck. So it's got the big tuck box, got the nice string in there, ribbon in there. Here are the backs. If you're familiar with Ciro Marchetti, then you'll recognize this art style right away. So there's the 10 of Swords. That's kind of interesting. It's always interesting to look at some of the more poignant cards. Like this is an important card to me, the 2 of Cups. And it's very nondescript. It really does not talk about, to me, it does not evoke the feeling of connection at all there. Like this is like a toast. This, to me, the 2 of Cups is about really deep connection. So it's getting a little dark in here. I may have to change the lighting. 6 of Cups. You know, that's kind of good. I like that. I like the thinking about it, but I don't know why she would be young. Like usually this is the youth and this is someone older. That's interesting. I'm not sure. The Lion, that's my birth card. The World. That's interesting. So it's got the zodiac there. And it's got the reference to time, which is kind of cool. So it's a very particular art style. Here's the High Priestess. Wow, she kind of looks, what's going on with her eyes? Like she looks sickly. Like that is not, is she got like, I'm just trying to see here. Is that supposed to be like some kind of cool dye coming off of her? I don't know. Anybody have any idea what the heck is going on there? It's kind of like in a ruins. Like, why is it in a ruins? That's kind of different. Okay, let's look at the book here a little bit. Faith. So this must be the Hierophant, I bet you. Yeah, the Hierophant. So no pictures that I see. That's kind of a bummer for me, honestly, you guys. I like to have at least something, like a reference point, because a lot of times I'm going to flip like this if I'm going to look in the guidebook. Oh, I remember what makes this unique now. Okay, so it's got, that's what this is. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 different interpretations. So 4 different writers write on each one of the cards. So that was kind of cool with this book, you know, that it had that. And I have like one other Ciro Marchetti deck, but I gave it to my husband because it's the deck that he always liked. So it's his deck that he's got in his little side table. There's the tower. So it's kind of got like sort of this sort of steampunky sort of feel to me about it. Okay, guys, you still got time to give your vote down below what you think I'm going to do here. All right, you guys, this has been in hell for a long time, like a long time. I'm gonna let it go. Part of me kind of wants to keep the book, but just looking at it, there's nothing special about what's going on in that. There's nothing exceptionally esoteric or anything. So yeah, it's gonna go. If anybody's been wanting it, I mean, the big thing for me is the art style. Honestly, it's just not the kind of art that I really like. Moving right along, not so fast. We'll try to go a little faster, sorry. Okay, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. These are cards that I got. What's interesting about this is you can like pull it up. How do you do this? Oh, and it goes like that. So you can like put a card in the little slot up here and look at it. So you can like keep it around. How many of you read Eckhart Tolle? I really like Eckhart Tolle a lot, and I read his books, and every once in a while I watch something by him. So this is the Portraits of the Now deck. Make it a habit to ask yourself, what's going on inside me at this moment? That question will point you to the right direction. Don't analyze, just watch. Focus your attention within. Feel the energy of the emotion. If there is no emotion present, take your attention more deeply into the inner energy field of your body. It is the doorway into being. So they're all kind of like this. Some of them are a little bit, shorter, like this one. And I mean, you don't really care about the backs, I guess. But so I love these affirmations. I think that they are just really, really cool. Oh my gosh. I'm like, that got stuck in there, and I'm just wondering if I forgot about it, if I had it out, would I like use it? Would I use this with clients? Like sometimes I use things like this with clients. Okay. Give me your vote up above. All right. So I'm going to cull it. I'm going to cull it because I just don't see myself using it. However, I am going to gift this to my bonus kid, my youngest stepdaughter. She is totally into Eckhart Tolle. She's super into reading him right now. And I think this would be fun for her to have and to maybe even take off to college with her next year. So that's where this is going to go. And then she'll appreciate it. It'll really be a thing that she can appreciate. Okay, this one is going to be really hard, you guys. The Magical Dimensions deck. So I actually eyed this deck for a very long time, and it looks like it's by Light Star. It says Oracle and Activations. So I bought this. I wanted it. It's kind of got this cool little dink. It's got pretty little things going on in there. It's got this big book. I waited to get this. There's this like big box thing, and then these always get thrashed. How many of you like these just trash after a while? It's very big box, very, very big box. Here are the backs of the cards. They're really pretty. They're really, really pretty. It's mass market, which means it's shiny. The Promise. And then it says on here it does have some keywords, which is soulmates, attraction, partnerships. Okay, so there's that. Don't like keywords on I have like maybe 1 or 2 tarot decks where I'm okay with it. But for the most part, I don't like them on tarot, but I do like them on oracle decks. Third eye, I'm trying to get this so you can see it. I hope it's not super shiny. Third eye portal, vision, clairvoyance, and clarity, comma, confusion. So maybe if it's turned around, yeah. Okay, so it must be if they're inverted, if they're reversed, then the last word. Because this one is speak your truth, and then the last one is suppression. Attachment, like that totally speaks of attachment to me. The book itself. So this is a very starseed sort of feel to it. Let's keep going. And, you know, the book is full color. It's really nice. I think this deck was like $38 or something like that. So it wasn't cheap for mass market, but it's still compared to nowadays with. So it talks about the main card categories: angels, elementals, galactic family, and chakra portals. An activator layout, healthy relationships. It's got quite a bit, and then it's got the interpretations of the card, and it's full color, which is really, really pretty. Okay, give me your vote. I know which way I'm going on this one. I mean, it's a really nice book. You can probably tell which way I'm going on this one. You know, it's just like one of those, like, I think I want it. And this is a problem that I'm having where I even waited on this. Like, I could have researched it or tried to find something online, but I can be really impulsive with decks. And I would like to say this was an impulsive purchase, but it wasn't. I'm culling this. But I mean, if you're really into like starseed activations, for me, I really enjoyed my whole sort of turn with the starseed scene, but I found that it became very ungrounded for me, and it was not where I belonged. I am someone who is here to be on Earth and to deeply resonate with the Earth energies and to be a part of the healing of Gaia and to really live this life here embodied. So I'm not trying to escape Earth. I'm really trying to get deeper and deeper into the messages of Gaia and the Earth. So if somebody out there's, you know, like been wanting this, let me know. I have one more to do. Number 8 is the Sacred Geometry cards by Francine Hart. And I actually have a full review of this deck, a walkthrough of this deck, and I will link that down below. So, you guys, the box was over in hell, but the cards were actually over on my shelf. So, and they were on the, like this side over here, my left side is where my tarot decks are and the oracle decks I use all the time. And then over here is kind of my oracle decks and that I need to clean out, and I need to mix it up so that I'm reaching to the right more. But anyway, so again, make your guess. Am I going to get rid of it or not down below? Okay, so these cards are so beautiful. Just, there's something really deep and wonderful about this, and it has a full book, which I'll have to like stop the video and grab. So stone stories. I mean, it's, you know, it's got these geometric, oh, I love this one, you guys. It's got these geometric patterns. Like, look, the dolphin Merkaba. Oh my gosh. Like, I think dolphins are just these amazing, powerful beings that we have no idea just how sentient they are. And this is just beautiful. And then if you are into the Merkaba, then you'll kind of get why that is just beautiful. I mean, these cards are so lovely. The Secret Garden, you know, and then she's just got straight up the tetrahedron. So she's just got straight up shapes. The colors are really soft and sweet. elemental embrace. So you've got like all the elements here. It's crazy. It's wild. It's, you know, look at this one, Gaia grid. So it's like the idea of the grid lines and Gaia. It's kind of this 1970s feel, which I super dig. I actually have the book where I can grab. Here's the dolphin Merkaba. And so it's not color, but it is a full size. So if you were having trouble seeing something, it'd be so nice if it were color. And so she goes into this. So I pulled this one up. So it's just got 2 keywords. I kind of wish the keywords were on the cards themselves. That would have really made this deck that much better and that much more accessible. I think keywords are really good when it comes to oracle cards. And I tend to gravitate towards ones like that. So it says the geometry of this card results from the interdependence of 2, oh my gosh, I can't read this. Of 2 tetrahedrons forming a beautiful configuration called the star tetrahedron or Merkaba. The Merkaba is believed to be a vehicle of dynamic balance, expanded awareness, and multidimensional travel. So she goes on, she's very succinct. I mean, just as a writing teacher, that's what I used to do, you guys. I'm just like, she's very concise. Everything is very power packed. And then she has just this little reverse thing down here. The Merkaba has no reverse, yet you may find yourself neglecting your joy. Use the dolphin Merkaba as a reminder to smile and remember your joy. So, it has been a good hot minute since I have drawn a card from this deck. Dave, do you have your votes in down below? Oh my gosh, this is really hard, you guys. This one's really hard. Like, I'm like, I really have not read with this deck in a long, I have not pulled a card from this deck. I guess I'm going to ask myself, like, if I were to, so what I'm thinking of doing is taking a bunch of my decks off the shelves here and then choosing to have kind of a feel or focus and then switching that out so that I have like, oh, okay, so this month I'm going to have, or these couple months, I'm going to have these decks out that I work with because I'm feeling like I'm neglecting a lot of my decks. So I'm wondering if I did that, would I use this? I'm having a lot of trouble deciding. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it because I just can't let it go yet. If you made it this far, oh my gosh, you're a rock star. Because I think we're at like 40 minutes, maybe yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's crazy. But to go through 8 decks, it took me a lot. That's like 5 minutes a deck. We'll see. Maybe I managed to cut this down and cut some stuff out and get it down to 30. Okay, so thanks for being here, you guys. Thanks for taking this journey with me. Let me know what decks you're thinking about getting rid of, and leave down below like what kind of criteria you use to decide whether you're going to keep a deck or not. If you made it this far, then chances are you know how to find my other content, but here's some over here, and here's my channel where I read tarot, and you can find out what's in the cards for you over there. Until we meet again, may you have the strength to cull the decks that no longer speak to you.